And let's just start this without delaying any time. We're in for a long one today. Today we're going to try and finish digging the last 3 towers of the end island. And yeah, also, hi frames. Where did my frames go? My frames are like missing. No, come back. It's the worst. It's the worst when this happens. Come back to me, frames. No, stop. Alright, let's hope it doesn't stay that way. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna dig the last 3 towers. Hang on, you know what? Let me just check one setting. Maybe that will solve the problem. Just close a couple things. And that hopefully helps just a teeny bit. Ah well, not even one bit. Never mind. Alright, let's give the end island a little while to load for a bit. Also, my frames are still gone. No, I need my frames today, please. Give it back. Okay, it's giving it back. Dodger! What's up? We're in for a long one today. We're gonna dig a lot. Like, really a lot. I'm just waiting for things to stabilize a bit and for my frames to come back. It's like my frames are not there. Frames, come back. I need you, frames. Give me back my frames. Oh, it's terrible. It's the worst. I don't get it. And you already forgot how to do that thingy. is my CPU struggling today? It was fine earlier. OBS seems fine. Do I have to restart the game? No, please don't make me do it. No. Not the frames, I know, not the frames. Don't eat the frames, game. Okay, can I move now? Is it safe to move? Sort of. Alright, to be fair, at least I don't need to move around a whole lot. So it doesn't really matter if the frames are a bit low, but it would be nice if the frames were a bit smoother. I might need to restart the game. I might just do that. Okay, 1 second. Windows update in the background? I doubt. At least I don't remember an update ongoing. And even if an update is ongoing, it should tell me. I can check though. Oh, that would be terrible. Windows messing things up. Not the first time. Let's check. Yeah, it is set to high performance. It's always set to high performance for these things. The frames were fine earlier. And I don't know why it's dropping now. Because it was fine earlier. Just want to put it out there. And now suddenly it decides that it doesn't like me all of a sudden. Did you have a good day at work Friday? Was I really working on Friday? Oh, your Friday. My Saturday. Yeah. The time zone difference. Yeah, it was pretty okay. It was alright. Tiring day, but overall it's fine. Okay, hang on, I'm still checking to see what the issue is. If there is an issue. If not, we'll just kind of restart the game. Hopefully that solves the problem. Yeah, Saturday for me. So there is no update going on in the background. That much I can confirm. Yeah. The frames are still gone, isn't it? And the frames are still not there. Okay, let's try exiting the game and then we'll load the world again. Maybe that will help solve the problem. Whatever the problem is. If not, I had to relaunch the whole game again. Which would be a bit of a pain. What I'll do for frames. Because technically I work Monday through Friday for you then. Yeah. You're like 12 hours behind me, I think. I'm ahead of time. I'm in the future. So I get to experience New Year before everybody else. I get to celebrate stuff earlier than everybody else. Yeah. I'm always in the future. It's kind of weird to like think about the fact that, you know, people are different time zones, and then it's like, oh, it's a Monday for you, and then it's like, oh, it's a Tuesday for me. It's so weird. Or it's like, for you, it's like, oh, it's a Friday, but for me, it's like a Saturday. So strange. Okay, frames, will you come back? Why is it like that all of a sudden? Doesn't make any sense. Oh no, technical difficulties. Why? No. No, game, why do you do this to me? What have I done to you? I've done nothing. Game, I've done nothing to you. Yeah, I think I might have to restart the whole game. No! Because I cannot fly with this lag. Oh, hang on. Nope. Yes, no, yes, no, no. Okay. You have Task Manager up. Yeah, I have an application that will automatically do some settings for me. Kind of like a task manager thing. And it should be working, but I don't know why it's acting this way right now. Hey Winnie! How's it going? We are having technical difficulties, so my frames do not want to come back. I'm trying to ask it to come back right now, but then it just doesn't want to come back. So we're just waiting. How's life? It's alright. There's also, you can also have like this screen or little sort of taskbar thing on the side pulled up. And I've done that before, but then I felt there wasn't a need to do that. Because it kind of, there's already a lot of stuff on my screen, so I kind of don't want an extra thing. Yeah, the frames are not coming back. No frames, come back! I need you! No! Please! Please, I need you, frames! Please! Please come back, I beg you. No. The MSPT is stabilizing, but the frames are just not coming back. Let me run around the island a bit and see if that helps. I don't even know if that helps. Maybe loading stuff actually helps. With the frames, who knows? No, game, please. Don't be like this to me. What's your frame rate set to? Set to 70. Which is, actually better than the VSync frame. It's, the frame rate that I find that is, I don't know, suitable. Didn't know that talking about not at all harmful rituals considered inappropriate. Let's see, if it's set to max you can try lowering it. There's a bug with that. And I don't think, in my case, I don't think that is the problem. Because I have already played with the frame rate settings. Okay, tell you what, I'm gonna relaunch the whole game and maybe that solves the problem. Just like how whenever you have a problem with your PC, you always just restart it. And then all your problems will be solved. Trust me. In the meantime, we can play with some sound alerts if you want. We have a couple of new ones. Definitely not very friendly, family friendly new sound alerts, but you can still have fun with it. Is the turn it on and off and on strat works every time. Exactly. That is how I do stuff here. Always works. Okay, what else did I want to say? We also have the guessing game. You can still keep trying to guess the other words that you haven't guessed yet. There's still a lot more to go with.
Hiya!
Yep, that's one sound alert. Let me see, where is the list? I had this list where I put down everybody's name. Well, sort of everyone's name. Then a list of what words you guys already know and what words you guys don't. Oh, somebody can actually try typing in !winner, and let's see who Nightbot chooses as the winner. I wouldn't be surprised if Nightbot chooses itself. Does Nightbot be like that? Oh, it chose Dodger. Ooh. Interesting. Oh, Dodger. I mean, not Dodger. I mean, Nightbot is being very nice tonight. Strange. That's not very Nightbot. I think Nightbot is just trying to get on your good side. That's probably what it is. Where's my medal? Nightbot be like giving everyone medals tonight. Oh man. It's completely deserved? Oh really? But hey, at least Nightbot's not patting itself on the back. Dodger, you completely forgot this command already. How could you? How could you? How did you forget? And how did you forget the formatting, actually? Of, like, that particular command or the word. And by the way, we're still stagnant with the Nightbot game thing, so if we just switch to the screen really quick. There. Still the same. Everybody still has the same ranks. Nothing has changed. Okay, my game has just launched. Give me 1 second. Yes, there are totals of 19 words. Yes. My memory is terrible. Yep. I'll give you an example, Winnie. And I'll just show you. So for instance, this is the one that I always show everyone. So if I type a word, right, and if it's the correct word, then Nightbot will respond to it just like that. So there are 19 words to guess. Have fun guessing all of them. There is also a point system. So how it works, it's just kind of like it just, you know, this thing kind of happened, that we just came up with a guessing game. We come up with the rules as we go. So basically, other chatters in chat there you go, other chatters in chat can actually steal points from you. So if they already guess one word and they got it right, you can't guess the same word and get points from there. So for instance, Dodger just put down but, so you can't guess the but word anymore because somebody guessed it while you were here and you already know what it is. So that's kind of the rule. Yeah. That didn't work. Yeah, there's quite a few. It might not be that word, it might be something else. But most of the words are all really common phrases. A couple of them are related to food, but most of it is just really common phrases. So have fun guessing. The first one that I'll ask everybody to guess is to guess a common greeting. Dude really just stole my butt. Yep. Just stole it. You go mad trying to figure them out. Indeed. Okay, hang on. I need go and check my settings, the thing that controls task manager. I actually forgot what's that thing called, so I have to find it. There we go. I found it. So yeah, have fun guessing. I should create like a new little graph chart. What if I've already gone mad from previous endeavors? Well, good luck then. Also, another thing that you can also try doing is that I have a couple of clues in the videos that I've published on YouTube. So let's see, 2 of the videos, yeah. 2 of my videos on YouTube have 2 clues as to what the word is. Mango. Mango is good. Yeah, mango's pretty good. I like mangoes. Mangoes are nice. Okay, hang on. Let's check. Alright. Yeah, my CPU is not having a good time tonight. Why? Why is that? Why is that? Full circle. Ah, that's a good point, Dodger. That's a really good point. So it's a double negative kind of situation. Yeah, double negative makes a positive. Yes. Okay, let me check something. Well, guess who's here? Playing the note. There's also a bye-bye sound alert, so that's something that I also added for you all. And my, let's see, 0 to 3, wait, is this even the correct one? Why is it assigning both of them too high? Should be only assigning one of them too high. Ah, is that why it's causing some problems? Okay, hang on. Always as normal. This one and this one is high. Oh no, oh no. Oh no, it doesn't recognize it. Oh no. Huh, interesting. I feel like if I do enough stupid things, I'll just be jumping back and forth to set circle of madness. Okay, let's see. Okay, hang on. And still checking the settings for some stuff. Just making sure that everything is kept in check before we launch the world. Where is that app? Where is the app? Oh, there it is. Below? Why is this below? Set it as normal. Let's give it a try. Okay, so hopefully this fixes things. Hopefully. Interesting. So why is this under above normal? Put it as normal. There we go. Hopefully that lowers it. Nope, it does not. I'm having me some Ethiopian coffee. Oh, Ethiopian coffee. What's special about that? I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to coffee, but it sounds fancy and good, so I know, right? Just gotta sound fancy and good. Okay, let's just leave that one alone. Below normal. What is this? High, okay, above normal. Okay, let's make it hide. Alright, there it goes. Let's try this again. Tell me all about Ethiopian coffee. Pour us some coffee knowledge. We all need a bit of coffee knowledge. Pump that caffeine into my veins. Keep me awake all night. Definitely something I needed back in school. Just where it's grown, different areas usually have different flavors, but it's pretty good tasting. Okay. I should absolutely add a coffee sound alert. A coffee theme sound alert. I think I know where to get it. I know where to get the sound alert. No, I did not want to go there. Right, let's see if it'll give me my frames back after relaunching the game. For all we know, it'll actually give me my frames back. Will you give me my frames back? Or no? Frames per second, 17, 9, 10 frames, 8, 24, 30 frames per second. Can we deal with that? Not a coffee connoisseur. Would anger some people by using my what Keurig? What does that even mean? I don't even know that word. Okay, seems like it's even worse. I have no comprehension as to what is happening. Okay. Test and see if it does it in a test world. That's a fair point. World specific? I mean, yeah, to a certain extent, but usually when I stream with my main world, it is a bit more... Not just when I stream. When I play with my main world, it's a bit more laggier. And that is mostly because of the data it contains. Compared to, like, say, my test build world, which has... if I can fly, which has very little data in it, so it's not gonna lag as much. However, the frames are still down quite a bit. Mobs? Yeah, it affects a little bit, but it shouldn't affect that much for me. Yeah, the frames are still dropping quite bad. Even for this test world. It does look smoother, but the frames are actually really low. Lower than usual. I mean, I guess it's flyable to a certain extent, but did I just phase through the box? Oh no, this is not good. Do you have a new shader? I don't have shaders on for this one. This is just using sodium. Anyway, was working fine. Any changes since I played it last time? No. I haven't changed anything except for making backups. But that should not affect anything. I haven't changed any settings unless it's because I did change something. Unless there is an update. Oh no, if there is an update then that will be a pain. That would be a pain in the butt. That's where you say but, and then Nightbot says but. When do you last restart my computer? Like, an hour ago? Actually. Alright, we're gonna risk it. We're gonna try flying up. Let's try this. Alright, we're still good. We can do this. Alright, even though it's laggy, I think we still should be able to do this. Anyway, we're staying in one place most of the time. So we're just gonna go for it. Let's try with... whatever, let's try with 14. It's not sodium, yeah. I'm expecting that this will continue for a bit, then eventually it'll improve, but I don't know when it will improve. Well, it is improving a little bit, nope, and it goes down again. Okay, anyway, whatever. Let's just start the dig. And I immediately forgot to... I forgot to put the hopper lights. Ah, great. Of course I'll forget. With opening the GUI is already laggy. Heck. So I didn't put the hopper lines below yet, and I have to do that. Just as long as I don't lag and I don't look at any of the Endermen. Yeah, I just have to deal with it later. See, I placed 2 blocks when I was supposed to place 1. It's okay, it's fine. I'll just deal with it. Because I thought I solved this problem before. Apparently not. So, whatever. Let's just hope that this one goes relatively smoothly.
Yes, Queen, yes.
Yes, Queen, welcome. No, it's you. I almost thought it was Carl. Because that's Carl's intro music, usually. And I thought he'd arrived. Which would make sense at this hour. But anyway, let's just get going, shall we? We're gonna just try and dig all 3 in one go. I don't think the towers are too thick, so we should be able to just dig all 3. So, welcome to this quality digging content once again, of me digging for 3 hours straight. How's everybody's day? I hope everybody's doing alright. It's the weekend. Everybody should be doing good. We should be relaxing. We should be chilling. Carl, where are you? Exactly, where is Carl? forgot. I have to add this sound alert for Carl, specifically for Carl. Well, hello frame drops. That was a bad one. The bright side. High quality content, yes. Quality digging content. Very quality. I promise. This is quality broken obsidian. Quality mined obsidian. Very high quality, only the finest. Hand dug. As though there's any other way to obtain obsidian. I think, wait. Probably if we used, I think withers. Yeah, withers can destroy obsidian blocks actually. Withers and the TNT mine cards? Was it? I don't know, don't quite remember. But yeah, you can get withers to destroy obsidian blocks. Not destroy, but you know, break obsidian blocks and drop it as an item form. The Carl sound clip, yes! There is actually this really funny cartoon clip where there's like a couple of horses, and then one of the horses, or I forgot whether they're just regular horses or they're unicorns, but then one of the horses' name is actually Carl, and it's pretty funny. And whenever Carl does something, the other horse would tell him, Carl! It's like, Carl! It's so funny. So I need to get that as part of the sound alert. Yes, they almost made it so they could blow up obsidian at bedrock at one point where you could make a wither cage out of it, but they fixed it. No. Oh, but they nixed it. No. Why does bedrock have to take all the good stuff away? So depressing. Did I put the... Yes. Oh yeah. In Java Edition, I've seen a contraption once where they actually trap the wither in... it's not the end platform, but it's actually an overworld setup. Didn't realize how easy it was to add your own clips. Yeah, it's actually really easy. So they use portals generating in the overworld to farm obsidian. So really cool contraption. You trap 2 withers inside, I believe, and you have to send a player through in order to get the portal to generate at a certain location. It's very cool. Can even use YouTube clips. Yes, exactly. I haven't tried directly using the clip, putting the URL in the sound alerts library. I haven't tried that. I've been just clipping it with a different app and then kind of uploading the sound. I don't know how it would fare with longer YouTube videos. Whether it will work that way, I doubt. Doc was trying to make that. It didn't end well. Oh. the wither obsidian thing. Oof. Yeah, it's quite complex to do. I think you definitely need somebody who's experienced in doing that kind of contraption to do it. I believe there is no guides or tutorials out there for that particular contraption. I'm not sure though. No spoilers in case you watch him and haven't seen yet. I haven't actually been watching Hermitcraft lately. I don't know. It's just like... I don't know, it's just... I'm not that interested in watching their videos anymore for some reason. Maybe I watch the recaps, I guess, but that's about it. Before I would watch especially Grian's videos because he carries the storylines really well. It just really carries the storyline of the server as a whole. And that's why I really enjoyed watching Grian's series. But then other than that, it's mostly just watching the recap. Because we all love to hear Pixel Riff's voice in the recap. Such a good voice. Like his builds. Ren's videos are super well put together. Last year was his high point so far. Yeah. I don't know about this season though. I don't know how's the reception for this season's Hermitcraft. But I personally haven't really been keeping up with their series anymore. Yeah, Grian's builds are... yeah, they're quite okay. It's more of medieval style. Very English builds, so to speak. Because that's where he's from. So naturally. But what's good about Grian is how he's very engaged with the whole server community, and that's how he carries the storylines. Just how engaged he is with the whole community, is, you know, and doing stuff with them, creating games and stuff. Yeah, usually wait a few episodes then binge. Haha, that's fair. I used to just watch them as they come out. I try not to watch them while I play. Because I confuse the sounds in the video with the sounds of the game. So I'll usually just watch it while doing a bit of work, or when I'm free, or something. It's so hard to see the borders between each obsidian block because there's no line, I can't see it. Did not mean to press jump. I actually meant to do this so that I can see. So again, we're gonna try and dig all 3 of these towers in one go. So it's gonna be a long dig. So actually I wonder, how is this season's Hermitcraft compared to last season? Because I have no idea anymore. I only know that they started off the season building close to each other somewhat. Then eventually they spread out. I don't know how that went. So the MSPT is fine, but the frames are not. Why is that? I'm gonna be really mad if that's because one of the mods are not updated. Pretty sure I turned up the render distance, right? Yeah, I did. Just no explanation as to why my frames are so low. Ah well. I also suspect that it might be a problem with OBS. So another thing that I need to do when I figure everything out is actually reinstall OBS. So I'm gonna just do a clean install. Then I have to put everything back in. Don't think it would be an update. Sometimes it might be when mods are updated. It happens, but not to this extent usually. It depends though. For the game, who knows? But I think it's more, it could be OBS. I don't know though. Also, as I was saying, how is Hermitcraft 8 compared to Hermitcraft 7? As of the moment. Am I using Forge? No, I'm using Fabric. Because most of the mods I use, they come out in Fabric first. Then the port, some of them don't even have ports for Forge, I think. Manually installed, yes. But with Fabric. Well, I mean, all the mods are usually manually updated anyway. there's any other way to load mods other than using Forge Fabric. There's also Quilt, which is still in development. It's pretty good. 2 new members. Yeah, I've seen that. Gemini and Pearl. I've known Pearl from Grian because they work closely together. They do builds together too. But I haven't quite watched, so I don't know how everything is. I don't know what the storyline is at the moment, what's new and stuff. She's putting them all to shame right now. Nice. They're doing more with custom data packs this year. Ah, interesting. So, custom data packs in what sense? Because I know that in Hermitcraft they already use certain data packs, like, you know, even the vanilla tweaks. Tweaks, technically, data packs. I know they have the custom crafting recipe for certain things, but custom items, okay. They did use a couple of custom items last time in Season 7, I think. Just a couple, but not too much. I just hope it's not too modded though. I mean, even if it is modded, it's like servers would do what they want in the end of the day. Nothing game changing. Okay. We all love the vanilla experience. Just for aesthetic. Okay. That makes sense then. Could be just like a resource pack also. Wait, what am I talking about? Texture pack. But the custom recipes, yeah, that has to be a resource pack. Or data pack. I don't know. I get confused with the differences sometimes. just got the Stream Deck app for my phone and got that set up. Finally understand why they're so popular. That I could get by with shortcut keys, but this is way better. Yeah. So I have an alternative Stream Deck app. It's called Touch Portal, and I also use that. I don't really... Well, I have a number pad that I can use, but the number pad is also bound to my game controls. Some of the game controls, so I can't use my number pad for switching scenes and stuff. So I do have sort of a Stream Deck set up, but I think mine only has 16 keys. Very little, but I mean it's enough. I can switch scenes with it, I can mute and unmute myself. Oh, hang on. The game is frozen. The game is frozen. Oh my god. What the heck? Oh no. we have audio back now. Let's give it a minute. Okay. It's back, yeah. Told you it wasn't that thing. MSPT has gone up. Ah, great. Is that the same thing that was happening before? Okay, no, it's gone back down again. It's so strange. It happens, then it doesn't. I don't understand what's happening. Oh no. This is really a sign for me to get a better setup, isn't it? Oh no. Is this a sign that my laptop is really dying? Is it really giving up already? I'm guessing my laptop can only handle so much these days. And some days it's just like bleh. It's like ugh. Some days it's like, oh okay, I got this. But today it's just like ugh, I can't deal with this. Oh man. I'm sorry, laptop. The bright side frames are a bit higher. A little bit higher, that is. Oh no, jinxed it. Went down again. Okay, went up. Nope, going down. And up. This is the worst. We had to deal with this for 3 towers. Oh my god. So many obsidian just like dropping to the ground. I'm so glad I placed the hoppers. I don't get the random momentum. It just goes where it wants. actually slightly panicked there when everything was lagging. But luckily, I do have a backup, which will only set me back. Actually, it wouldn't set me back much at all. So I just have to dig the tower from the top again if ever the world is lost. That's a big if. And then there'll be more obsidian tower mining, more obsidian tower streaming, I guess. More quality obsidian digging content for you guys. If that happens, let's not jinx it. Let's not jinx any of that. Let's just hope that this will pass. Don't think it's the world file. No, that's not my point. My point was that if ever whatever that's causing this problem corrupts the world file for whatever reason, then at least I have a backup. That's my point. When that huge lag spike happened, when everything was paused in game, yeah. So the only setback will be that I have to dig the tower from the top again. This is why I take frequent backups. The last time, I was very close to losing my world, actually, because my file got corrupted. My world file was corrupted, and I couldn't load the world. Need to back up the server again. Yes, should do at least very frequent backups. It depends on how active the server is. Some places they do daily backups. Also, I need to lower my audio for 1 second. My side. Okay, we're good. So I couldn't load the world, and I looked up on how to solve the problem. And it said to change the level data old file or something. You have to move them to local storage. The hosting does daily backups. Yeah, but you should keep one just in case. So yeah, I initially suggested for me to. Oh, the MSBT went up. Suggested for me to load the level data old, but apparently that was also corrupted as well, sadly. So then the only option I had at that point was to actually take a really, really old backup. So I almost lost my world back in, I think it was May. So I had to get a March backup, which was 2 months back. And then try to load the level data file from there. And luckily for me, it worked. But the only thing that that changed, it wasn't really much of a setback, but the thing that changed for me was just my inventory, because 2 months back, prior to that day that I lost the file, I had a couple of shulker boxes out of my ender chests because I was in the middle of building something, and I lost those shulker boxes because it was outside, or rather it was in my inventory at the time when the world crashed, and then the file got corrupted. So I lost a couple of shulker boxes of items, but not a big deal. Could get them back pretty easily. At least it wasn't the important stuff. So from then on it was like daily backups. This is the most important shulker box, so that wasn't the one I lost, thankfully. These are also relatively important, not too much because these are easily farmable, but this one is very important. And thank God I didn't lose that one. Other than that, from then on, frequent backups. After every major change to this will backup. Yeah, it's not too bad. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. I didn't lose too many items. I don't think... Did I lose any of my tools? I think, luckily, I didn't lose any of my tools. Need to make it easy for people to join the server. I always see that people struggle with this concept. Yeah. Maybe, since everybody joins the server the first time for the Netherite Me server, maybe you just automatically give them the role of for the Netherite Me server, so they can see the IP immediately. Or send new users after they have done the verification directly to the Netherite Me server information, so they can see the IP directly, and then that's it. That should solve the problem, I guess. If that makes sense. Then if they want to see the other games on the server, then they can just react with a different role. That's something they can explore later, but I think every newcomer for now just wants to join the server, and the first thing that they'll need to find is the IP. So you can just send them directly to the Netherite Me channel. It will make sense, I guess. This will give me enough obsidian to make a portal-based gas farm. Though I'm considering not doing that, actually. But to be fair, it's very efficient. It will get me a lot of tiers. But I also do want to do a single dimension farm instead of just portal spam all the time. Maybe I could build both types. So I can do one gas farm, that is a portal spam gas farm. And the second one, that's a one dimension one. That's an idea. I actually have a cool concept for a build in the Nether. But first, we have to finish this project. Projects for the future. And that project's after I finish another project. Oh my god. I have so many things to do. There's so many things to do in Minecraft. Jeez. How are we ever gonna get things done? Use portals to move the gas to the overworld. Yeah. Kill them with packed snow. Yeah, but it's a 117 thing. I'll just kill them packed powdered. Yeah. I'll just use entity cramming and also suffocation damage from their hitbox intersecting with the portals. It's actually fairly easy to do that. You can just add one block and that will suffocate them. But they'll already suffocate from the portal, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Also, I suspect that you're really far behind on the stream, probably 30 seconds. You might need to refresh your browser page if you're far behind. I'll also do it for the cramming thing. Ah, yeah, it isn't a thing on Bedrock, that's right. I find it so weird that they don't have entity cramming on Bedrock. I mean, wouldn't it make sense to have entity cramming because of how much lag entity creates? I don't know if the code is different in Bedrock. It's whether it's so efficient that entities cause less lag, but I doubt. So shouldn't entity cramming be a thing in Bedrock? Or at least it's a thing that should make more sense. You hit the cap before you can cause lag. For Bedrock. So you need to kill them as quick as possible to keep the mob spawning. I mean, that's generally most one-dimensional farms, although I don't know if it's different in Bedrock. I still do not know how the Bedrock mob spawning system works. 1 second, there's a bug that I need to chase away. Yeah, with these spawns, they go through a portal in Bedrock. Oh yeah, because in Bedrock, there is no chunk loading with portals, right? That does not work. Plus, there's no like spawn chunks in Bedrock either. So there is no permanently loaded chunks. There's not a play on the other side, right? I remember that being something that was explained to me a while back. There is spawn chunks, right? But it's very small. Ah, how large are the spawn chunks in Bedrock, actually? Because in Java, I think it's... was it 21 by 21 chunks? Couldn't quite recall, but I think so. But it doesn't apply to entities. Meaning they're not entity processing chunks, but I would assume redstone should work. Sorry. It's 2 or 3 chunks from the player. Redstone still works. Huh. So Bedrock chunk loading is very different. 2 to 3 chunks from the player. That would be like a... what? 7 by 7? Or 5 by 5? Chunk area? You can't use redstone, for example, and spawn chunks. 2 spawn chunks in a line like you can on Java. Oh, right, okay, I get what you mean. So, chunk loading, you mean? Spawn chunks. Yeah, I think you mean chunk loading there, not spawn chunks. Because we... wait. Redstone to spawn chunks. Oh, the redstone chunk loading doesn't work anymore. Not at least in higher versions. I think after 1.14 or 1.13 they took it away. So a redstone line no longer loads chunks. Which is something that can be a bit annoying, especially in contraptions where you need to keep things loaded. But there are workarounds. Which is why many players want Legacy To be fair, these days there are mods that will give back the redstone chunk loading thing, I think. Legacy version of Bedrock used to work more closely to Java. Many jobs without redstone constructions work in the Legacy edition of Bedrock. Okay. My question is, why did Mojang change it? Like, why? What is even the point of changing it so much? See, that's the strange thing about Mojang, right? Huh. So, players think that the Legacy edition for Bedrock is better, or at least the old mechanics that was closer to Java is better. But what Mojang seems to do is that they make Bedrock redstone weird, then try and make Java like Bedrock. So weird. Efficiency and less powered devices. Does it make it more efficient that way? I mean, I guess. The goal is to make it playable on many devices. That's fair, I guess. Well, to be fair, I don't really know how Bedrock works in its entirety, so I can't really judge either. But it's just really weird. Certain things, I suppose. I just don't know. Most mobile devices don't run Java. Yeah, that's fair. Consoles, yeah, that too. But it's like to make how things work in Bedrock so different from Java. It's just, I don't know, it's just a bit weird. Like, okay, let's take something like really simple, right? The Wither on Bedrock versus Java. Java, the Bedrock is pretty, the Wither is pretty easy to beat. And it doesn't spawn Wither skeletons. Whereas in Bedrock, it does. And I feel that doesn't make sense. For Bedrock, there is a ticking area, so things like crops and redstone will work, but no mobs will spawn. But our entities kept loaded. So for instance, if I put bees to work, beehives, would it produce honey for me? That's what I mean. So mobs of course wouldn't spawn unless the player is present. Same goes for Java. But we can chunk load an area. No, they are considered a mob? Yeah, exactly. So in Java, there are entity processing chunks and redstone processing chunks. Yeah, as we would call it. So in entity processing chunks, that's where you can keep contraptions like mob switches, iron farms, and storage systems. I think storage systems actually just need... No, you need entity processing. But yeah, these kind of things. You can just leave them with a chunk loader and it'll be fine. So that's why iron farms work just with chunk loaders. Because it allows the entities within that chunk to be processed. So the villagers are loaded, the iron golems are loaded, and the pillagers and everything, so therefore it was to produce iron. But in Bedrock, I'm not sure if it works the same. For hostile mobs, however, you still need the player's presence. And then there are certain things that still needs ticking with the player's presence. Which is why you wouldn't be able to use a chunk loader for, say, an amethyst farm. I believe that crop farms, I'm not so sure, but I think crop farms also need player presence as well. that do not need players' presence are bone meal-based crop farms, if I'm not mistaken. So, not crop farms, because you still need a player to place the crops. Unless you use villages. Huh, actually. I don't know if that'll work. Anyway. But, automatic tree farms. Fully automatic tree farms. You can just use chunk loaders for that. Yep, pretty much. Okay, so in Bedrock, the list, wait, mobs have persistence if they meet a certain criteria, okay? Which looking at the list is pretty generous. Just tempting an animal with food means that it won't despawn naturally. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So, wait, so in Bedrock, passive mobs despawn? In Java, passive mobs don't despawn. Once it spawns in, it stays there. Even if you haven't interacted with the... even if you interacted with the passive mobs. Even if you haven't interacted with them, they still wouldn't despawn. That's interesting. So that's one key difference already in Bedrock and Java. I mean, it's understandable, I guess, for performance reasons, maybe? I don't know. Then again, how does hostile mobs differ from Java and Bedrock? Between Java and Bedrock, I mean. How does the hostile mob spawning differ between the two? I still do not know. So, to give you a bit of idea of how the Java one works, if you don't already know, it's still the same 128 blocks. 128 block sphere from the player within that radius. They're out, they despawn. Right. Then there's also another thing in Java where they use a height map. So basically what it means is that the lower the Y level, the higher the chance of a mob spawning. And then if there's, it calculates the lowest and the highest block within the area, and if the smaller or the shorter that area is, the higher the spawn rates. 44 block spherical radius. I assume the 44 blocks is your safe zone. In Java, it's 32. But what about spawning mechanics? So, is it like Java, wherein the lower the Y level, the higher the spawn rates? That's what I mean. Is evaluated every chunk that is within a 6 chunk cylindrical radius to play that's ticked. Okay. If the simulation distance is smaller than 6 chunks, then only chunks within the simulation distance will be able to spawn mobs. That's a 1 in 200 chance of mob spawning algorithm run per chunk per tick. Right. But is there height map? Like Java? Do they also use the same concept, I wonder? Ah, so that means if you build a mob farm in the air, and if you build a mob farm low down in the ground, it doesn't make a difference for the rates. That's what I'm understanding. Oh! Oh dang! Oh man, that makes so much sense now. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that's messed up then. That's not fair. I object to that. It's just I'm so used to Java mob farms. You have to build them low. Because if you build them high up in the sky, the spawn rate is going to be too low. But they have the mechanic for the underground, above ground. Yeah, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I think I remember something about that. They have different mob caps for underground and above ground. That's what I remember, I think. So many files will be in the sky because it counts as both. Oh my, bedrock, why? Huh. Oh, bedrock is so confusing. In Java, it's simpler in Java. In Java, there's just one mob cap and then... and then basically... Oh no, hang on. Alright. And then that's all you have to worry about pretty much, just one mob cap. Okay, let's see. Alongside the global mob cap is a mob density cap. Ah! Interesting. The mob density cap limits how many mobs of each type and category can spawn in a 9x9 square region surrounding each chunk eligible for spawning. Mobs in chunks outside the ticking area count towards the mob density count, okay? The density cap is split up into two distinct categories, one for the surface and one for the cave. Cave mobs do not count towards the surface mob, and surface mob do not count towards the cave mob. Okay, so I would assume that, given that and given the information that I have been given as well, that the reason why you can combine both the mob density cap if you build a mob farm in the air is that the game searches for either light conditions or like if there is a block on top of an area and thinks that it is a cave. Wait, you can make a mob switch using dogs? What? That's not fair. Looks for a block. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it looks for a block above and then looks for full darkness? I don't know if that's what it looks for. But then based on that, that's how it thinks that a certain area is a cave of some sorts. But it's also on the surface because it's above ground or above a certain Y level? Who knows? I don't know. Okay, that's very interesting. It's so different then. Huh. So what Mojang was trying to do to Java Edition in the 1.18 update was they were trying to do what mob spawning mechanics are in Bedrock. So meaning that doesn't matter what Y level it is, the mobs will still spawn with the same rate. And Java people were not happy. Oh man. Wait, opening the GUI is laggy? Hi frames, please come back frames. Okay, you basically make a cave above ground so you don't have to light it up. Since it doesn't have a cap, you can make a ton of mobs, but there's an actual mob cap, which is low. Wait, you basically make a cave above ground so you don't have to light up. Since it doesn't have a cap. Okay. Mob farms in Bedrock be kind of interesting. I'm so tempted to restart OBS because I'm somehow very convinced that OBS is the problem. I don't know why. So while you would not have a problem with above ground cap, you would run to the cap of the actual mob type. So meaning to say that every mob has an individual mob cap for Bedrock Edition. If I'm understanding this correctly. Is this a thick boy? Yes it is. Oh boy. It is a thick boy. Alright, let's try to fly. Oh boy, it's a thick boy. I'm not gonna land that, of course. Alright. Let's try and land this. There we go. Ooh, this is a thick boy. That is a very thick boy. Okay. We're in for a long one. No. They all count towards the total. So is the total mob cap also 70? Wait, total mob cap, does that mean it includes passive mobs? 200 is the total world cap. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh good god. Oh no. Which is why you can make a switch with dogs. Oh! That makes so much sense now. Oh my god. That is so wrong. Okay. Bedrock is so weird. Oh man, Bedrock is so weird. Okay, gonna have a sip of water for 1 second. following rules apply to all mobs. Can only spawn 24 blocks. Oh yeah. Yeah, Java is 24 blocks, I forgot. But it remains, the mobs remain persistent if it's, or like, you know, they can despawn if it's 32 blocks out from the player. Between 24 and 32 blocks, the mobs will remain persistent within the area as long as it's loaded. If that makes sense. Anyway, let's see. Cannot spawn if block below them is air. Yep, that's the same. Cannot spawn if mob will collide with an existing mob. Yep, mob within mob. Cannot spawn on slabs or carpet. I think bottom slabs for Java. I don't know about Bedrock. Top half slabs it can still spawn. And then some additional rules apply to specific categories of mobs. For water mobs, cannot spawn outside liquid. Yep. The monsters cannot spawn the light levels greater than 7. Non-water mobs and yada yada. Cannot spawn on bedrock. Yep. Or invisible wait, eh? Invisible bedrock? Huh? What is that? Cannot spawn touching any liquid. Okay. Invisible bedrock. What? Wait, that block exists? What? Hold up. Invisible bedrock. Void? Why did they just say void then? Wait, if void is basically air block, what are they talking about? Invisible bedrock? Welcome to the mysteries of the invisible bedrock. No idea what it is. Warrants an Illuminati sound alert, actually. So what is invisible bedrock? Unless in Bedrock Edition... No, it doesn't make sense. They wouldn't leave in a barrier block. Not like on purpose anyway. The last time a barrier block was left in Java Edition, that was on accident. The last time you can get a legit barrier block, not as an item, but you know, as a block, was in 1.12. Entity despawning in Bedrock Edition evaluated per chunk per tick. There is a 1 in 50 chance for each chunk to attempt to despawn an entity per tick. With despawning, a random entity in the chunk is chosen, only despawned under the following conditions. If the entity is more than 54 blocks circular radius away from the player. Ah, so that's the difference with Java. For Java it's 32. And the light level is lower than 8. Okay. For monsters, light level must be greater than 8. And if it's a surface mob, it must be daytime. Oh, that's complex. I almost thought I was losing blocks. The entity is true, the entity does not have persistence. Huh. Okay. So each entity has sort of a timer, which is, I guess, kind of similar to Java. But the weird part is just that passive mobs and hostile mobs count towards the same global mob cap. So passive, if it's too old, it will despawn if the player has not interacted with it. Right. Oh, that's so different from Java. In Java, we're so used to the passive mobs being persistent, no matter what. So when they spawn in for the first time, when you load a chunk, then it's already persistent at that point. point. However, you can create separate passive and hostile mob switches for them. For like mobs in general, I mean. So for passive mobs, whenever you load new chunk, there's always going to be a passive mob there, regardless of whether you have a passive mob switch or not. But the difference is that if let's say you have a passive mob switch, if you kill those passive mobs in the newly loaded chunks, then they won't spawn again. But that is if you have a passive mob switch. If you don't, then they're going to spawn again. And if you just leave them alone, they'll just stay there forever. Until you go back again, they'll still be there. So I want to say that only redstone stuff works in the ticking area of spawn. The mobs. What if what if it's persistent mobs? Like villagers, for instance. So that means because if you're saying that only redstone works, then that means an iron farm in spawn chunks doesn't work, for instance, in Bedrock. If I remember correctly, on the last server I was on, which is why most people only use it for their command blocks.
Yes,
Only
Queen,
use it for their
yes.
command blocks for anti-cheat. Hello, Carl! Carl is finally here. Welcome, welcome. Oh, so they use the spawn chunks for command blocks. Just got back. Sorry for the delay. I have arrived. You have arrived indeed, in fashion. Also, the stream is very laggy. Forgive me. I can't do anything about it. I have no idea what's happening. Maybe I can try pointing the fan at it. Let's hope that the wind is not too loud. Let's try. Let's just try. Did you have work, Carl, or did you go out? I feel rude for pointing it out, but it's Carl. I mean, pointing out how your name is being spelled is actually not rude. It's fine. I think you should. You went out for Boba! Yes! Heck yeah. Boba is awesome. Oh man, I want to go get Boba tomorrow actually. I'm gonna commit to it. So some stuff will only work in proximity of the player regardless. Whether if it's in a ticking area or not. So crops. Oh my. They do reusable cups here. Get a cheaper tree if you take it back and reuse? Nice! Here they don't really do that, which is kind of annoying. It's like I kind of want to reuse the cup if I can. Because they're such good cups. And it's like, why isn't it reusable? Why don't you offer a discount for reusable cups? But things like iron farms will still work. So villagers will continue to persist. So that means the chunks are entity processing chunks. Takes a while to... yeah. I'm just going to give me more excuses to buy more boba. My bank account will be screaming soon. So bees as well. Yeah, I think so then. Because if villagers are kept loaded and iron farms work, then honey farms will work as well. But the hives might not update. I think they should. I mean, if it's redstone processing and entity processing, I think it should update. So they should be able to run independently of the player. They're not dependent on play ticks. Wouldn't that be similar to crop growth? No. Because the honey level change is dependent on the bees working, not on the player's presence. Whereas crop farms depend on the player's presence. And the bees work independently of the player. Just as how villagers in the iron farm, when they produce a golem, is independent of the player as well. Don't need the player present for an iron golem to spawn. So the bees don't need a player to produce honey. They just do what they do. Because it's not random. Yeah. It doesn't rely on certain ticks that requires player presence, if I'm not mistaken. So, something like that. That's why it works. Dodger being an expert in everything, indeed. Don't tell Carl that you have like the wiki opened up in another tab. The problem with Iron Farms and Bedrock is that you don't have the scaring mechanics. You just have them attempting to spawn one every once so often. Ah, yeah, I heard about that, and I heard that you need more villagers compared to Java. So like 10 to 20 villagers compared to Java, where you just need 2 villagers or 3. Just 3 usually. 3 villagers and one monster. That's all. And then ta-da! Iron Farm. Carl. Be nice, Carl. Carl being very sassy, again, as usual. About 20. Oh my god, 20 villagers? The heck? But you can stack them. Direct you can position where they're barely within spawning radius. They come with one function, that is sass. Did you read all the labels? Oh man. Don't need to read the labels, Carl. I know you too well. How was your weekend, Carl? How did it go? How are we doing? What's the latest? But cats count towards Iron Golem cap. Huh? It doesn't on Java. There's an Iron Golem cat? So you effectively have a cat and golem farm. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to say about that. Because they spawn with the golems. Yeah. In Java, the cats and golems are independent of each other. There's no cap. Good, thanks. I went to York as a friend from America has moved here for study, so have an excuse to go there more now. How was Seoul's weekend? Seoul's weekend is alright. Seoul did quite a bit of work on Minecraft world, obviously, because it's Seoul. Seoul built a little sheep enclosure. A nice enclosure for the sheeps. I'm very sure they appreciate it. The sanctuary is such a friendly sanctuary. Yeah, yep. Woo! Sheep! Yes, that's yeah, that's the scream of happiness. Yes. Other than that, IRL Soul has been doing chores and also been doing a bit of work, feeling very accomplished because completed certain tasks that took like a whole week to complete. Happiness, my arse. Hey, come on. They were very happy the last time I checked on them. Very sure of it, I can guarantee you that. Very, very happy. They make one sound. It's universal for you, suck. Evil? Come on. No, evil. I built them a beautiful enclosure, okay? Took a lot of time and effort. Lots and lots of time and effort. And they appreciate it. I can tell. So Carl, you may notice that the stream is a bit more laggy today. That's not your imagination, it really is. I have no idea how to solve it, so we'll just deal with it. On the bright side, we're just gonna be digging, so the lag shouldn't affect us that much. Compared to if I was doing something else. And it's a slow dig, so it shouldn't be too noticeable. Hopefully. Watching multiple things at once and playing Stellaris. At least you aren't playing Minecraft. Because if you're playing Minecraft, this would really confuse you. It's like you hear a block break and it's like, oh, what's that? Oh man, so need to get boba tomorrow. Don't worry, I would notice. Right. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Dodger do Stellaris. Actually. I wonder what happened to the bye-bye butterflies. Totally wasn't part of the group that planned the name for the bye-bye butterflies. Was looking forward to the next installment of Stellaris. Yeah, with the bye-bye butterflies, the beautiful, deadly butterflies. It was so funny when we were creating like the what do you call it, the species. It was like we were looking through like all of bye-bye butterflies. We were like looking through like all the species and stuff, and then we were like, wouldn't it be funny if we chose the butterflies and then they're supposed to be like bloodthirsty or brutal or something, and then we were like, yeah, let's do that. I was like, okay, let's do that. Bye-bye butterflies were born. Oh, you got the voice mod set up? Oh, I want to see that. Something I'll play with in the future. Interesting mechanic to let the viewers choose. Yeah, it's so funny. Seriously, the best part was the creation of like the species. It was so funny. I always choose one bad, then good. And then you just gotta deal with it. Different voices maybe for things. Oh yes, naturally, right? That'll be cool. That'll be cool. So for like each race, they'll have different voices. Oh man, that's so good. Always, I want this research. Well, you're getting this. I vote this. Well, I guess you know what that means, Dodger. You gotta do a Stellaris stream soon. The people have spoken. The people want Stellaris. But I need to figure out a way to make it faster to choose. Yeah. Let's see. I know that, was it Stream Elements or Nightbot? I think it's Nightbot. Nightbot allows you to do straw poll. So people can click a link to go to straw poll. For partners and affiliates, they have a special poll function that you can use to do polls. Sorry, I was actually distracted by messages. Let's see. But you have to block me from voting. I'm doing it out of spite. Feel like it takes away the game to type out all the choices. Yeah, it's true. Got the poll for Twitch, but it's custom choices each time. Yeah. That's the difficulty, right? I mean, you can just ask in chat, should we go for this, or this? Just make sure to explain each of it clearly, because sometimes we don't know what it is. Well, except for Carl, of course. But sometimes we don't know what are the benefits and the drawbacks for each of the upgrades and stuff. So as long as you explain it to us and then say, okay, should we go for A, B, or C, and then just give us like a minute for the latency and stuff, then it should be okay. Just need to wait for a bit for our responses. Didn't know how to vote, so I just typed it in chat. Yeah. So maybe we can just omit the poll, because I think that takes too much time as well. Just ask. Just ask and then say, should we go for this or that? Like what we used to do before. I think that's fine. For the fact that there's just a few of us, so I think a poll is not really necessary. I guess a poll would be more necessary if there's like a huge crowd, like 100 people, then, you know, you're gonna kind of need the poll because it's impossible to keep track of the votes in chat. Whereas if it's just like 3 or 4 of us in chat, it's very easy to keep track of like how many people want to go for one thing or the other. Keep limiting the choices though, you get to pick 3 of the 5. Right. I hope I can make the next stream. Things have been getting in the way. Aw, Carl getting busy. Think of the acronym KISS. Exactly, KISS. Keep it safe and simple. So just keep things really simple. In any case, again, it's just a few of us, so it's not like a gigantic crowd that will make it hard for you to keep track of chat. So it's really easy to count votes, and especially if I'm there, I can also help you count the votes or count the choices. Keep it simple, stupid, yeah. Fine, it's better. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay. Alright, keep it simple, stupid. Okay, we've reached the 2-hour mark, I just noticed. Do you think we'll be able to mine the 3rd tower? 4-hour stream. Cry. I think in Malaysia they were being really nice about it. Being nice about... Yeah, probably. We are very polite people. That is, until we start using our slangs. You see someone from a different culture than you. Right. This just got me thinking about when people from different countries, or rather like when you go to a different country and then you know like a language that they don't. My accent is too strong for Eastern places. I have to slow down and try to coherently speak. Yes, Carl, your accent is really thick. Sometimes I can't catch certain words that you say, sometimes. But for the most part, I can still keep up, I guess. It's also a matter of like getting used to it. Also, hang on for 1 second. My frames are going down like anything. I do not apologize for that. I can't help it. Yeah. I demand an apology, Carl. Just kidding. But yeah. One thing about the accents though is also getting used to it. So the reason why it's hard for us Eastern people to understand what other people are saying sometimes is mostly because we don't understand other accents and how different people say words differently. For instance, some people they speak with certain intonations, and in other cultures those intonations don't exist, and it's like so weird to hear people speak it with a certain intonation that we're like, okay, what are they saying? Also, like, the pronunciation is a bit weird and we're not used to that. That's basically it. But once we get used to it, we're like, ah, okay, we know that's this is this and that is that. Simple. So an example is some places emphasize the R's a lot. So for instance, if you have any Filipino friends, when they say any words that have an R as a silent R, like here, H-E-R-E, they would pronounce it as here, like, you know, the listening here, whereas it's supposed to be pronounced as here. Or like father and mother. So father and mother's silent R as well, but they would pronounce it as father, mother, with the R, even though it's not supposed to be that. And it sounds weird to a lot of people, but it's just kind of their accent. Or slang. I find it creepy people know my accent. I was once in a game with nothing but Americans, and when I spoke to them, you were Scouse. Yeah, I talk to people from different countries for work. When I come across an accent I don't hear of, I feel terrible because I asked and repeat several times. Oh no. Yeah, it's like that. And you know what's worse? What's worse is not just the accent. It's when you encounter people who not only speak with an accent, but with broken English. And Chinese broken English is... it's something. Wait till you hear my Uni translate. Too true. Oh man. So, and yes, it's English. So, Chinese speakers sometimes not only speak with Chinese accent, but also with broken English. And unless you know their broken English, sometimes it's really hard to understand what they're saying. So I'm lucky that I grew up around it, so I can understand broken English. And at one point, I think I can't do it these days, but at one point I could actually speak with broken English. So broken English was like another language for me. Because I had to use it sometimes to communicate with these people. And it's the only way they actually understood what you're saying, or at least they understand English that way. So when you use broken English, and then they'll be like, ah, okay, that's what you mean. But if you use regular English, they don't get it. Most Americans hate speaking with foreigners. for customer service, mainly because of broken English. Oh no! That or thick accents. Oh man. Well, just gotta deal with it though. Okay, you know I have this... I noticed that the frames kind of stay below 30 for some reason. We have so much slang. I don't use it though. I can't be talking slang when dealing with clients. Yes, Carl, you can't be doing that. You're... yes you are, Carl. Yes you are. Yes, people in customer service do not like you, Carl. They don't say it, but they do not like you. But let us not forget, Americans are up their own arms. I like myself, that is the main thing. Well, but if everyone around you does not like you, what does that say about you, Carl? It can come off as a bit well, but I understand the frustration in some cases. I can deal with taking direction from someone with broken English, but it does get a little difficult when you're trying to provide them with information. Yeah, that's understandable. That's why it's useful to know different languages sometimes. My inward perfection doesn't care about abominations, such as others. The sass wars have already begun in chat. Yeah, Americans are a bit uptight. Americans are weird, I would say. I don't know, I just find Americans weird. The rest of the world find Americans weird. What was I about to say as well? Actually forgot what I was about to say. Luckily my job supports pretty much every language, so I can usually get someone to translate if needed. Okay, yeah, then that's very useful then. Tell me about it. Some are lovely though, and I have some great friends. The rest, not allowed to say. Aw, is Carl being nice? Don't dare to say bad things. Let's not condemn an entire uptight breed of people. I was about to say regarding these things. Oh man, don't remember. Oh yeah, I was about to say why it's also useful to understand multiple languages is because I think this, if you know at least 2 or 3 different languages, then it'll make sense to you. But there are certain things that are easier to express in a different language rather than, say for instance, there's some things are easier to express in Mandarin than it is to describe in English. Or some things are easier to describe in English than it is to describe in another language. So yeah. There are many great people where I live. For example, my grandparents were super sweet, do anything to help you, but then they will make the most racist remarks and you just facepalm. Oh good god. But that's the generation they grew up in. Yeah. That applies for that generation, unfortunately. Not much you can do about it. Generation gap. The unfortunate thing about it. I only know English. Afrikaans. Ooh. I don't know that language. English, Spanish, and basic Japanese and German. Oh, you know a bit of Japanese, interesting. But may have forgotten the latter. Oh, funny enough, you get that here. All the generations be nice but racist as heck. Yes! Unbelievably racist. It's like, what the heck? My last name is German. Ooh! So you do have German ancestry. Nice. Interesting. I did a Japanese martial art, I had to learn it. Ah, okay. Like to go there someday, to Germany? Yeah. I'd like to be able to travel just like anywhere about now. Have you not been? Uh-oh. Well, not everyone is as privileged as you, Carl, okay? Relax, Carl. You broke? Are you sure about that? Then your bank account should have been screaming the moment you bought that boba. But Germany was definitely one place to go. I love Berlin. Ooh. Oh man, make me think about traveling now. Maybe it did scream, but I hushed it. Makes sense, makes sense. I found some burial records when I did my ancestry search that I would like to go visit. I traced it back to the late 1800s. Wow. Man, I would like to look into what my ancestry really is. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm very Asian. The Chinese part of Asia, that is. But I do have some features that it's like you don't really think an Asian would have this kind of feature. So it'd be interesting to take a blood test to find out whether I have any mix from different races and whether I have any different family trees that I'm not aware about. New label, very Asian, yes. Nobody found super records. Let's see. Germany definitely a place you have to go back multiple times. It's massive, I bet. My ancestry is an enigma from here and then everywhere. I bet. Of course. I know that the only thing that's clear on my side is my mother's side. So on my mom's side, it's very Chinese. So the family all came from China. That's like very, very clear. But on my dad's side, it's a bit of a blur. So there's some things that we know, but for the most part, we don't know a lot of the ancestry aside from 2 or 3 generations up. That's it. So 2 or 3 generations up from me. So like me, my dad, my dad's mom, and my grandma's mom. That's about it. And we don't know anything further than that. Or even like my great-grandma, there's not much known about her. I don't believe I've met my great-grandmother on my dad's side. Have I? I don't think so. Ancestry.com is a good place for records. Yeah. Could try to see if I can find anything there. I doubt, but I can try, I guess. I don't know if they have records for Asians. Do they? Do they have records for Asian countries too? Too many of my family don't want to know. There's bloody more anywhere around the world. Such as for connections on its own. Ah, okay. Could try that. I have a funny story about connections and family. So, where I live in, it's a kind of a small town, quote unquote small. That's because what they say about my town is that everybody knows everybody in my town. So, if you do something bad in town, word is going to spread and everybody will know. But that also means that it's very likely that I have family in this town that I just kind of moved back to a few years ago. So, to kind of cut the story short, basically I met somebody and I was friends with this person for a year. And we only found out later on through a post on Instagram that this person was actually related to me. She was actually my cousin. And the only reason I found out was because I recognized her granddad, because her granddad was my granddad's younger brother. And I was like, that is my granddad's younger brother, so that means you're my cousin. So many people, family from Asia, they would need records for, yeah. There are no secrets. Yeah. One thing's for sure, everyone probably has some relation to Genghis Khan. Yes. But yeah, that's the story of living in a small town. Very small world. The person who is your friend could be your cousin. God. And I was friends with this person for like 1 year. I only found out that we were cousins like after 1 year. So ridiculous. My wife and I found out that we had the same cousin, but after panicking we found out that it was through marriage. Okay. Oh good God. Ah, small world, isn't it? The world is just way too small. Dodged the bullet with that one, yep. Oh my God. Very small world. It's like sometimes I would wonder if I would have a distant relative somewhere across the world. Or it's like somebody that I've known for years is actually related to me to begin with. Oh, also, Carl, I meant to ask, how is the virus situation in the UK? I have a family across the country that I've never met. The family tree on my dad's side is pretty large, so there are families that I haven't met either, and I'm like, okay, is there a point anymore? This is like so much. It's terrible, 200 deaths a day. Ooh, 40,000 infections. Ouch, that's twice the amount we have. I'm slightly thankful now. Because things are pretty bad here. And, nothing's open still. Which is terrible. So I was thinking that, hey, maybe the UK has it better than us since everything is open. But apparently not. Mom, stepdad, sister just got over COVID. Oof. We are predicted another lockdown October if they don't do anything. We have been in lockdown since forever, and I don't know anymore. Our government sucks. If your government sucks, ours do too. Can't have it both ways, I guess. Nobody's ever gonna be happy with any decision. How's your government? Oh. That was a close call. Carter. No. Still haven't despawned the guy yet. I'm lagging as well, so that doesn't help. Let me try and land on the ground for 2 seconds. Just to make sure that the guy doesn't exist anymore. Hurts though. Okay, Enderman doesn't exist anymore. Good. Where were we? Okay, let's see. Well, we had Park Life in Wireless, 2 giant music festivals, trams in Manchester, grabbed. What? It's a joke. No mask. Oof. All the litter of COVID was going on spike. It's now. Oof. Pluto it is. Yes, let's go to Pluto. Okay, I have to remember to look down constantly. Apparently that's how I stared at an Enderman and almost died. Holy heck. It's hard to escape when the frames are so bad. But yeah, I think the mask thing, like at least wear a mask, keep your distance. It's like everything that I think people just became, I don't know, they think that just having the vaccine grants them immunity immediately, and then they just don't wear masks anymore. And I think that they still should. That's probably one of the reasons why the infection rates are going up. Although, to be fair, most people are asymptomatic. Which means that it's not as bad as it was before? Question mark. In the sense that less beds are occupied, although I've heard that admissions are at an all-time high as well, so not really either. But there are also 2 ways to look at it. On one hand, in the UK and the US, most places are open, so gyms and, you know, this and that, you don't need to wear masks, schools are open, yada yada yada. However, where I am right now, we're so strict that gyms are not open, schools are not really open either. Nothing's open. People are working from home, people are working overtime, even though they shouldn't. Yeah. Still, things are not getting better. On both sides. one hand, it's like whether you mask or not, the people are still gonna get infected by anything. Humanity, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Concerned that it's gonna end up like flu season. Just continues every year. Like, I mean, I guess that was kind of expected. In a way. We kind of predicted that that's a possibility that would happen. Until we find sort of a solution to it. Maybe it has to be a yearly vaccine, who knows? But the question, okay, I almost thought that the game lagged again. The question now more is towards I think it's more of how uncertain everything is. And the solution for everything as of the moment is, oh, let's close things up, or let's close businesses, not close businesses, but kind of like stall the economy in that sense. Nothing is open. People are having a hard time making a living, so to speak. Nothing is moving forward. It's like, how long are we going to stay in this state? My town, there's a couple of gyms that had to close because they couldn't sustain paying the rent without being open. So sadly, a couple of businesses gone. If it does, welcome to double the annual death toll. Yep. Get your shots, people. Get your shots. But honestly, if I had to live every day for the rest of the few years wearing a mask, I really wouldn't mind. I think in Asian countries like China and Japan, it's already pretty normal to wear masks out all the time. It's just some people don't think they're ninja enough to wear a mask. Yep. But it's like, you know, it's like, alright, you guys don't want to be a ninja. Huh. You know, the kids think it's cool to wear a mask. And these guys are like, no, it's against our rights, it's a violation of our freedom and whatnot. It's like, guys, the kids think it's cool, just leave them be, let them wear their mask. That's pretty common in Asia, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not common that people would stare. It's nice. They're just normalizing it, yeah. For me, it's normal. It's like, and I think it's pretty cool as well to wear a mask. And it actually is much better, I feel, to wear a mask when I go out to do stuff. Because then you realize how much it smells outside. Since wearing a mask just takes away all of it. It's like, oh, okay, wearing a mask is actually pretty good. There were some states that actually have laws against masks. Huh? Laws against masks? What? But it was meant for criminal activity. Oh, okay. But it applied to that before this happened. Yeah. In that there's a law criminalizing mass, but I guess they do have to really define what kind of mass are criminal. For instance, like if a doctor wears a surgical mask, are you going to call them a criminal? So I assume that there is proper definitions as to what mask is legal and not. but still, it's a very interesting law. But I think, if I remember right, I did see that the anti-vaxxers actually used that law to justify their anti-mask agenda, which is kind of funny. Laws in the US are usually very vague, but it was mainly in public settings. Yeah, okay. Okay, hang on. Let's turn off one thing. The fan is freezing my fingers. Let me check to see. Yeah, my CPU is still really suffering a lot. Okay, hang on. We have too many laws as is. Normal citizen can't go and look up the law easily. There's actually no accurate count how many laws there are in the country. Oh boy. America, America. Okay, so this is at 20%. Okay, hang on. I gotta check something for 1 second, really quick. Show this. Okay, why is it 90%? Why is it 99%? How and why? Why is it 90%? Okay, hang on. Why is this using 20%? UK uses a lot of jargon, but they try not to be vague. Instead, you get people like me and so breaking the law and getting away with it because you can word out sounds around it. Yes, too true. Like in my state, it's illegal to sleep on top of a refrigerator? What? How? Why? Carl, we're going to the US. We're gonna sleep on top of a refrigerator. Remind me. Man. I'll pack extra sleeping bags, yes. Okay. Alright, I'm just doing a really quick check to see what is hogging up so much CPU. And the winner goes to OBS. That's what it is. OBS is the CPU hog. Why? Why? Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can change that. In my state, it's also legal, or worse, maybe. It was finally changed to beat your wife with a stick as long as it was no thicker than your thumb. What? Why? Ah, my goodness me. Okay, I'm gonna change some settings manually through Task Manager because apparently what if I set this to below normal? Change property. Okay. Let's see if this hogs less CPU now. Nope. Nope. So OBS is the problem, it seems. Sorry guys, I'm just checking to see what is happening. Why is this a problem? Why is OBS... Oh, wait, hang on. Is it going down? No, it's not. Okay, never mind. Ignore that. Okay, where are we? I hope your wife doesn't mind a couple of refrigerator sleepers. Yes. Where to visit Dodger? Yes, exactly. The first thing that we would do when we visit Dodger is sleep on a refrigerator. Because they're just stupid. Oh man, that's troubling. What a stupid law. But they don't get removed. Yeah, that is the problem. It is a problem. It doesn't get removed. How many more? I know that in some states that you can't collect rainwater. Huh? As it belongs to the government? What? Huh? You doesn't care as long as you can collect it. What? Yes, you have to have a permit? What? That's really only in the states that have water problems. Huh? Wait, why? What? That's so confusing. I mean, how is that government-owned water? I mean, like, you can't control where the rain falls. What is wrong with Americans? Seriously. Because it doesn't go back to the water table. I'm dancing in the rain and collecting it now when I visit. Take decades anyway. Alright, I don't know. It's just so weird that that has to be a law. Man, I'm so tempted to restart OBS and restart the stream. Because OBS is clearly a problem here. That's causing the lag. One of my friends got up paying a water bill because it's against human right not to allow access to water. Wow, okay. Not sure how happy, but she bloody did it. Oh wow. Must have had one heck of a good lawyer for that. Okay boys, we're going to try to restart the stream. I'm gonna close OBS and reopen OBS and see if that helps. But the government it changes laws massively. You can get away with a lot of things if you're smart enough with the law. Yes. I bet. Pretty sure you can get away with almost everything. Okay, so again, after we finish this tower, I'm going to quote unquote end stream, more like restart stream. So I'm gonna restart OBS, and hopefully things will become smoother. So we'll be offline for like 5 to 10 minutes for me to restart OBS and make sure that everything is okay. Quote unquote end stream, yes. And then we wouldn't close the world because I need this 3 towers to be one full recording. So I'm not going to restart the world and close and open. This has to keep going on. It's just OBS that's going to be restarted. Then we'll do a part 2. Part 2 tower dig. So you can just stay in the chat. You don't need to move, but you just have to wait for me for about 10 minutes or so to restart OBS. Then hopefully I wouldn't have terrible frame drops like this. Look at that, what the heck? Give me back my frames. Cut my frames by half. Yeah, see, they don't do work contracts here unless it's a salaried position, which most of the working class is not. Right. I no longer wish to adult. Oh, we wish life could be easier. So you don't get to negotiate. Oof. I like things aren't changing to benefit more. Temporary contracts here for anyone that has a job. I'm fixing to have to go wolf in 10. Oh no! Oh well, it's okay. Yeah. Salaried or hourly pay, etc. No work, you be fine. Carl giving the real advice here. My bank account wouldn't be. Aww. Too true. Ah man, adulting sucks sometimes. I swear. You know, it's also interesting that I see you also have the screaming bank account. Your bank accounts are very vocal, I must say. I've been in my work for 7 years, really enjoy it, but starting to get repetitive. Yeah, at some point I think anything gets pretty repetitive. But I was about to say, it gets very upset with me. Especially when we have this raging desire to get boba all the time. Makes our bank account scream a lot. But I was about to say something interesting over time is that in the past, many years back, you only need one person in the household to work for the whole household to survive. But these days you need 2 because it's just not enough. It's so strange. Mine threatens me. Oh my god. Your bank account is so fierce violence. It's a great place. They take very good care of their employees. Not the same corporate culture in the majority of our country. It's like, that's good then. Flash just red and tells me how much I have to spend in a certain time. Then it stops. After transactions I've labeled not important. I've given it too much control. You have indeed. You've given technology too much control. Robots are gonna rule us. Confirmed. much appreciate the passive-aggressive comments, as always. Guess you're going hungry then. More like starve bitch. But starve bitch would be more of a straightforward, aggressive comment. Oh, but I will probably never leave for the healthcare insurance alone. Feel like a VIP when I give it to doctors. We don't have any openings for a few months. Checks insurance. We can see you this week. Ah, yeah. I think for Americans at least, give me 1 second. For Americans at least, the health insurance part is really important. So if you have a job that gives you good health insurance, it's always worth staying in a way. I'm blessed we have the NHS. Oh wait, that's going down like anti-vax. Oh no. It's always a hit and miss with all these things, right? So yeah, in Malaysia we have good healthcare, thankfully. So I don't need to worry about that too much. Wow, the frames just wouldn't stop dropping. Okay, so if the frames keep going crazy like that, I will have to end it a bit earlier, then restart the stream. So we'll see. Either we restart it now, or we restart it after we finish this tower. People abuse the system here. Ah, so now we're backlogged a very long time. Oh no. Insurance companies have wormed their way through things and it's created a class system. Yeah, with healthcare, a lot of people have to fight for their insurance companies to actually pay for the coverage of many cases. Ouch. I have house insurance so I can pay for things I feel I can't wait for. Here it's generally alright, so I don't know how people will abuse the healthcare system where I am. I think it's quite hard to do that. The emergency room system is like that. Most of the time it's filled with simple issues, cold, small symptoms, because many don't have insurance. They go to the emergency room because they'll treat you regardless. Oh no, so that contributes to the emergency room problem. Also, why do I have this in my inventory? Okay, you know what boys? I'm gonna restart the stream. So I'm gonna close OBS because hang on. Yep, yeah. I'll close OBS and restart the stream. This stream will be back in 10 minutes, but have fun chatting in chat. I'll continue to read it. So be right back. We'll restart stream. We're not ending stream, but we're restarting the stream.